We've all seen the rumours that were swirling yesterday, and it's officially been confirmed. Edu Gapar has resigned from his sporting director role at Arsenal. First things first, we thank him for whatever he did at Arsenal Football Club and in his own way helping to shape us to the platform we're at now, people. What it means for Arsenal moving forward, who replaces him? Is there a reshuffle? Has Edu had a bust up with Mikel Arteta, or is this simply an opportunity he can't turn down? You look at it on the face of it, people. Apparently, he's said to earn around, not that I'm pocket watching, £2 million at Arsenal Football Club. That being said, there are some rumours he's tripled his salary, which, forgive me if I'm wrong, 2, 4, 6, that's 6 million, and he'll be in a higher ranking position as a CEO, helping the Nottingham Forest owner, run his multi kind of club structure. So he'll have some sort of hand or say in something to do with Nottingham Forest, Olympiacos. I think they've got a Portuguese club, I think Real Alvarez, and there's probably another one. And in terms of career progression, if you're getting more money, more importance, and a role that you see as a challenge, and you feel you stagnated at Arsenal, you can't go anywhere else, there you have it. There's also some rumors, there's going to be a lot of whispers that he feels his voice was kind of being clouded out at Arsenal. So yeah, people, if I share my screen with you lot and we actually look at some of the headlines, Edu Gapar resigns as sporting director. As we know, he's officially resigned from his position as sporting director. Now, this isn't, when you're in that kind of line of work, maybe, he got a text and said, let me try it, and things of that ilk. But this has to be something Edu Gapar was considering for a long time. While, you look at any walk of life or any job, your manager or whatever doesn't know you're going to resign. But there must have been some whisperings, like even where this whole Nottingham Forest owner stuff with Edu, it was there in the summer, people. And it's a bit of an intricate one, but let's take time with our opinions. Edu has said, this was an incredibly hard decision to make. Arsenal has given me the opportunity to work with so many amazing people and chance to be part of something so special in the club's history. It has been a special journey, and I thank Stan, Josh, Tim, and Lord Harris for the support they've given me. I've loved working with so many great colleagues across the men's, women's, and academy teams, especially Mikel, who's become a great friend. Now it's the time to pursue a different challenge. Arsenal will always remain in my heart. I wish the club and its supporters only good things and all the best. Now, hopefully, we get somebody in that position sooner rather than later, and somebody that can take us to the next level. Kroenke has said, Josh Kroenke, apologies. We respect Edu's decision and thank him for his immense contribution and dedication, apologies, to drive the club forward. Everybody at the club wishes him well. We are also fond of him and the positive energy he brings to everyone and everything. Change and evolution is part of our club. We remain focused on our strategy and winning major trophies. Our succession plan will reflect this continued ambition. Now, the last sentence is what grabs my attention, because some fans would think, yes, we've been on an upwards trend. We've turned the club around. We're now competitive again. But, we now need to stop being the nearly men, which, again, in the last 2 or so years has been the case. Even prior to Mikel Arteta and all of this during the Emirates era, under Arsene Wenger, there were a couple of years we was fighting for the league title, maybe not to this extent, but ultimately it didn't end where we needed it to be. So the last one, our strategy to winning major honours and a succession plan will reflect this continued ambition. They have to be the right person, but hopefully it's someone that, is better than Edu, if I'm honest. And I know Edu gets a bit of a mixed reaction from fans. I do feel sorry for Edu because, we see what Mikel Arteta does or doesn't do on a match day, and we see the same with the players. We don't see with Edu, and I think it's a double-edged sword. You would like to see Edu historically have done better with sales, of maybe push the ball out with some top players, and things of that ilk. But again, if he's suggesting things and those above him are not going for it, or if he didn't want Kai Havertz, for example, and he thought money could be spent elsewhere, and Arteta, who for me has a bigger voice in the Kroenke sort of pyramid, wanted that, then his hands are kind of tied. And you speak to people around the club, he's seen as a great gentleman and a great person. And regardless of what you have to say about Edu, rumors are rumors, but he's been highly sought after to lead this multi-club structure he's probably going in. PSG wanted him. He did win an awards for sporting director, and when you look at the clubs that wanted him, and just in the world of professional football, it seems that there's very much a different opinion on Edu over there rather than at the Emirates, or better yet with Arsenal fans. So wish him all the best. I was reading The Athletic, and I think this is something that really and truly provides food for thought, people. There are only 4 members of the board. Arsenal's father and son American owners Stan and Josh Kroenke, Tim Lewis, who's an executive vice chair, and Lord Harris of Peckham, a businessman and philanthropist, who is the only survivor from the club's old days at Highbury. Richard Garlick is managing director, and Jason Atto is Edu's assistant, and both of them are well equipped in football business circles. When it comes to it, the person with the expert football take is arguably Arteta, but managers appointing or recommending directors of football feels like a thin ice move. Now, I want somebody a bit more experienced than Edu, someone that's a bit more seasoned, someone that can maybe pull a rabbit out the hat, you know, where we're looking for certain things in the market, if I'm completely honest with you. But that does give you food for thought, because you could argue that, you know, Mikel Arteta being the only footballing man isn't going to have potentially, not at least from a footballing perspective, some of his footballing decisions questioned, in which you'd imagine Edu and him must have butted heads again. Everybody can't agree on everything. That's not how things get done. But I did think that's food for thought, people, if I'm honest with you. Again, Edu was never the absolute overlord of recruitment. He was always part of the collective. The work of the group helped to launch Arsenal towards title challenges and back into the Champions League. He was heavily involved in some outstanding recruitment, from bargains including Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli, via super smart imports such as Martin Odegaard, to heavyweight fees for Declan Rice and Kai Havertz. Of course, there were forgettable transfers as well. Not every deal worked. Sales have been less successful, but overall Arsenal have fared well in recent years, and one area in which they excelled was the number of contract renewals and retentions of vital players such as Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, and young Ethan Nwaneri et al. Which is true. I do think the contracts, you could argue, you know, buying players of Declan Rice and Kai Havertz, who, you know, it's hardly pulling a rabbit out of the hat, is put the money down, really, you know, dealing with new contracts and things of that ilk and doing what you can to make us competitive. I praise Edu for that. But on the one hand, you could say these are basic competencies, really. I do think Edu's work can't go understated, but I hardly think, you know, it was amazing. I think in terms of outgoings or sales, I think Arsenal could do a lot better in that regards. I think, you know, it was a step in the right direction where you look at a couple of Halem boys for the fee, considering everything with Smith Rowe, obviously Eddie Nketiah. You've got Balogun there, Joe Willock a few years ago. Forgive me if I'm wrong. As I said, big him up on the contract renewals. Apart from that, you're kind of wondering what is Edu's individual work, because, you know, obviously he's played a part in the collective, but what is his individual thing? Where you look at some sporting directors, they have the South American market on lock. They might have great relationships with super agents and can pull rabbits out the hat. But I do think Edu can look back with pride, because, again, Arsenal are not where we need to be, not where the fans want us to be. But when Edu walked in, not that he did it alone, and not that I'm saying he's the best thing since sliced bread, but when he walked into where we are now, it's considerably different. And what Arsenal do beyond that point, he's played his own way, and it's not his problem. Of course, during mid-season, you don't want to see this, and it's important to get the right individual rather than just anyone. Personally, I would like it to be someone more experienced. I know Edu isn't exactly a novice. He held a role in the Brazilian national team before, you know, taking a role at Arsenal and then ultimately becoming sporting director. But you want someone that's arguably, exaggeration, but been in this position more years than Arteta's been a manager or been alive, really. You know, Edu, Mikel Arteta, once upon a time, Jack Wilshere, another off-the-field change, Mikel Arteta. Everybody's kind of growing together as a club in their roles. The players as well. No one's really seasoned veterans. And it would be nice, because you look at a few years ago where we were fighting for fourth and we didn't sign a player. Obviously, last summer, I think the individuals were good, but did we improve the squad depth? And let's be honest, we did spend a good part of the summer taking forever. Well, I don't know everything. Taking forever to sign Mikel Moreno. Obviously, scrambling on deadline day to sign a keeper in Neto after, you know, making a mess of that. And big up Raheem Sterling, but signing Raheem Sterling, in which Edu came out and said that wasn't something we wanted to do. That's on Arsenal.com. For a team that's flirted with the Premier League 2 years in a row, I would hardly say this is the summer or last summer that's recently just gone. That was the summer you looked at and saying, yeah, we're really going to kick on and make a meal of it. You know, you didn't get the Nico Williams or the versatile wideman that's a long-term option. Didn't get that striker to have in addition to Kai Havertz, and many other things, really and truly. Whether they tried, and I applaud you if you tried to do that, that's great. But if Arsenal tried to win a game in which I don't think Arsenal went out there intentionally to lose against Bournemouth, to lose against Newcastle, to, you know, not hold on to the lead against Liverpool. But at the end of the day, you have to be judged appropriately. If you try to win and don't win, there's question marks. So, yeah, man, big up Edu. Wish you all the best. Thank you for your time, both as a player and a sporting director at Arsenal. But in life goes on, people. So with that being said, don't forget to follow both the channels. Smash the like button. Peace. Always just like